nào bầu cho tổng thống Trump.
Donald Trump,
Người xứng đáng cho chúng ta trao lá phiếu bầu.
Donald Trump,
USA, USA, make America great, great again.
Donald Trump,
Donald Trump, Donald Trump cho nhiệm kỳ này.
Donald Trump.
我觉得 I honestly feel like this is nothing more than some kind of superficial performative friendliness. Because in my opinion, Trump acts much more like an internet influencer than he does like an actual world leader. And
I just dropped off former Trump supporter. He said he voted for Donald Trump 3 times. Now he wants Donald Trump to be gone as soon as possible.
I want to remind you that we are closer to the undocumented immigrants that are being deported right now than we are to them. We have more in common to the undocumented immigrants than we do to them. You remember?
I can excuse racism, but I draw the line at cruelty.
You can excuse racism. So
Donald Trump, make America great again. Donald Trump, Donald Trump. Guys, and I don't know the part that goes in Vietnamese. I don't know. I don't speak Vietnamese. So, guys, I got you a good video. I wanted to cover this for such a long time. Asians for Trump and their regrets. Yes, it's a lot of Asian people. There isn't regret because they voted for Trump. And on the top of that, I want to talk about the Asian, the boycotting the black people have against Asian business. Yes, I love my black people because we are really petty. And when we say we're gonna boycott something, we do it. And we just keep it through. Even myself, look at my nails. I've been looking for a black person to be able to do my nails, and I just look at my nails. It's just, as soon as I find it, I recently moved. That's also another thing. I used to have a Venezuelan girl that used to do my nails, and I moved. So now I just said, you know what? I'm just gonna participate in the boycott, and I'm just gonna get a black person to do my nails, or a Latina. I don't know yet because I've been looking for someone to. My house is a mess right now because we're just moving, cement floors. So it's dust everywhere. It is a mess. So, guys, stay towards the end because this video is gonna be really interesting. And towards the end, I have so much to talk about this whole situation. Stay towards the end. And please don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Help us to support liberal media. Subscribe to my channel, and it helps me so much. When you guys subscribe to my channel, you guys cannot even imagine. And also, when you guys give a like to this video, and also when you hype this video, it also helps me. Just hype the video also. Do everything that you just think that you need to do for we can just beat the algorithm, because the algorithm right now is punishing liberals channels, and they just keep supporting the Republican channel, the conservative channel. That's what they are supporting right now. So help us to just fight the fight, please, and subscribe to my channel.
I just dropped off former Trump supporter. He said he voted for Donald Trump 3 times. Now he wants Donald Trump to be gone as soon as possible. This guy happened to be a restaurant owner in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. This is a very expensive area, and I think the around here is super expensive. He said his restaurant doesn't make money at all because of inflation. In my opinion, he deserves it. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. Think about it. The president of the United States says, oh, we're gonna impose tariffs on everything. I don't know. I'm no economist, but I do know that imposing tariffs would hurt us. Very stupid thing to do. We can use tariffs strategically, but by and large, tariffs do not help anybody. That's a simple fact. Anyway, he hates Donald Trump. Another thing is, he said his uncle warned him. Apparently, his uncle was scammed by Donald Trump in 80s. His uncle sued Donald Trump and successfully from Donald Trump. But his uncle clearly told him, do not vote for this guy. And yet he voted for Donald Trump, and he's getting burned. I still feel sorry. Like I said, he deserves this, but I don't want anybody to get hurt. It's stupid. I don't think that he has a bad intention, so I still feel bad.
When I see Asian Americans, specifically second generation Asian Americans who are like big MAGA and like Trump supporters, rejoicing over the immigration policy and like spewing out that BS, it makes me incredibly sad, but also like it makes me super confused because I think a lot of my Asian brothers and sisters, y'all are forgetting that we're next. We're literally next. We are literally right there. I don't know if y'all have deja vu. I don't know if y'all just forgot about like 2019, 2020, when Asian hate crimes were happening, when we were literally getting blamed for COVID. They were literally calling it the China virus. Okay? I'm talking about the same MAGA Republican supporters who literally think every single Asian person is Chinese. They cannot tell the difference between us, guys. They literally think we're all Chinese. That crazy orange man has been spewing out anti-Chinese rhetoric, yes. And while your parents may not like China and they passed it down to you, that doesn't mean that they're on our side. They're not. They're gonna look at you and think that you're Chinese too. Most of them couldn't tell the difference. Like, yeah, you can spew out that same anti-Chinese rhetoric that MAGA supporters are doing, but when it comes down to it, when they come after you, are they gonna know that? No, because we all look the same to them. And the proximity to whiteness for a lot of Asian Americans, like, you know, there's a lot of trauma, there's a lot of healing that goes into it. They'll never accept us, guys. They're never going to accept us. The model minority myth thing, we got to hang it up, guys. We're not even going to be close to them. I need y'all to understand that at the end of the day, no matter how many white people you hang out with, no matter how hard you try to assimilate into white culture, we will never be them. We will never be them. I'm so sorry to tell you.
Did you vote for Trump last time?
Yes, he's a good person.
Yeah.
He better one more 4 years. That better.
Are you happy? Do you think he's doing a good job or not really?
Nobody could make every food go up. Okay, you see now the eggs too expensive too.
So you're not happy with him because prices are going up?
Everything up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You voted for Harris?
Yeah.
So we're here at Eden Center. This is really the heart of the Vietnamese-American community in Northern Virginia. And we've been talking to business owners and customers to get a sense of how they feel about the first 100 days of the Trump administration. And what's clear is that the community is quite divided.
So I voted for the Democratic candidate. Yeah.
Kamala Harris?
Yes.
And can you tell me why?
I believe in honesty, I believe in credibility.
The shop owner across the hallway was wearing a Make America Great Again hat. So, I mean, you see that all around you here, right?
Yeah, we're good neighbor. I like him a lot.
Vietnamese Americans tend to lean more Republican than any other Asian American group. Part of that is rooted in the fact that the older generation of Vietnamese refugees that came to the U.S. after the Vietnam War, many of them associate the Democratic Party with communism.
I escaped my country because of communists in my country. After the 1975, right? Henry Kissinger, they sell my country.
I just watched a former Trump supporter publicly apologize and admit they got it wrong on national television. I'll tag where you can watch the full video in my comments. I didn't agree with some of the responses, one of them being, too late, no forgiveness, and I've seen that too often from the liberals. And emotionally, I understand the anger. Trust me, if anyone hates MAGA, it's me. But if this is truly about America and the future our kids inherit, then strategy matters more than our ego. We have a long way to go cleaning up this country's debt, division, and policies that continue to hurt working Americans. And if MAGA, some of them are genuinely waking up and changing how they vote and taking action by speaking to others who once thought like they did, then no, it's not too late. Because if people believe they'll be hated forever, the moment they admit they were wrong, many of them will never admit to it at all. And that's what's going to keep this country trapped and make things worse. And before somebody says, well, what about your content? You scorched the hell out of maggots. You're right. I could do better too. I'll admit that, and I'm not perfect either. I'm going to start shifting more of my content towards education and strategy, not just in politics. I'm about to start diversifying my content overall. Now, with that being said, every now and then, yeah, you're still going to get some scorched earth venom out of me too, because some people only learn when they get hit directly between the eyes with the fucking truth. Every lesson is not learned through gentleness, but some of you need to decide whether this is actually about saving the country or if you're more addicted to being right than fixing the fucking problem.
From the evidence.
I've been a MAGA supporter from the very beginning. You know, I believed in him. I thought that he would end wars, like he said in his campaign. He said he wouldn't start wars. He said he'd bring peace to the Middle East. Now look at us. We're further from peace and closer to catastrophe than ever before. I feel so betrayed.
So the word he said there is betrayed, and I'm sure a lot of Republicans and a lot of Trump supporters feel the same exact thing, specifically on something like the Iran war and getting us entangled in that. What's the opportunity that Democrats have here, and how do you connect? How do you speak to those potential Republican voters to win them over ahead of the midterms or potentially 2028?
I'm so glad you asked that, because we have to have a movement that is additive. And I know from talking with young men in Vermont who either sat out the election or did end up voting for Trump, for many of them, it was about this issue of entanglements in foreign wars. They feel deeply betrayed by this president around that issue in particular. They want to make sure that they have a future ahead of themselves that doesn't involve going to war for reasons that are absolutely unclear to them. People say, we have no idea what we're doing in Iran. And so we as Democrats need to listen deeply to what people are telling us and not come to these conversations as if we are smarter or that we know more or that we're the only ones that can solve the problems. That's the problem with Trump. He tells people he's the only one that can fix the problem. None of us are as smart as all of us. And I am just so heartened by what I saw in some polling this week that about 20% of MAGA voters now are regretting their decision. And it's not our place right now to say we don't want you in our movement. We do want you in our movement. If you are interested in protecting and defending this Constitution, if you're interested in bringing us back in line with the rule of law, then we have to have a place for them.
I want to share with you guys some of the commentary that I received from MAGA. And the reason why I keep fighting back is because they have attacked me. And it takes a certain person to want to run for office after they have been attacked and insulted and dehumanized over and over and over again, threatened just because of the way I look and just because of my name. And yes, the fact that I was born in a refugee camp in Thailand. Getting attacked by my colleagues in the Michigan House and the Republican side. One of them accused me of being a racist. I'm not going to mention who, she knows who she is, because I use the blonde hair, blue eye filter. If you are offended by what I have to share and my experiences of being an Asian American woman, then I think you are the problem. And I can bet you 100% that none of you have ever had to experience this kind of hatred or racism or insults or attacks or hatred. For you to be offended by what I have to say and how all of you have treated me tells me that you are not taking accountability for the fact that you are so privileged that you will never know what it is like to live a day in my life. To not be able to acknowledge that is extremely hurtful. And the way in which I deal with trauma and racism is through humor, is through showing you how I have been treated. And instead of acknowledging the pain and the suffering of people of color, when you are a person of privilege, you are doubling down, shaming me for my experiences, or calling out the hypocrisy and the hatred that a lot of you have for me really shows that you have lack of understanding and compassion for people of color who have been disenfranchised, marginalized, who have been attacked over and over and over again. And for you to be offended by this, but then turn a blind eye when people attack me like this, when they say stuff like this, and none of you have ever come to my defense. None of you have ever said what these people are saying is wrong and a person should not be treated this way. So what makes you think that you are right? And the only reason why I have received so much hatred from members of the Michigan House, my colleagues, is because of a dress that I wore to a private charity event with the words defund ICE on the back of it. It triggered so many of you. For me to use my freedom of speech, for me to use my privilege in being in the same room as all of you and millionaires and CEOs, it triggered you so much that I was standing up for my beliefs that you had to double down and put me down because you didn't like what I had to say. At no point have I ever called you out, attacked you personally. Have I ever questioned your intelligence or IQ level? At no point have I ever personally attacked you or your appearances. But it's okay for people like your supporters to attack me over and over and over again for the way I look, for what I wear, for how I talk, for the policies that I believe in. Do you not see the hypocrisy? Do you not see that you are the most hypocritical party there is? And I think you need to do some very deep soul searching. And I'm happy to have a conversation with you about this if you really want to understand the trauma and the pain that Asian Americans and minorities and people of color have experienced in US history. Because you will never know what it is like to live in this country as a person of color. If you cannot begin to acknowledge that, then you will never change.
I want to remind you that we are closer to the undocumented immigrants that are being deported right now than we are to them. We have more in common to the undocumented immigrants than we do to them. You remember how quickly MAGA turned on us during COVID, and it didn't matter if you were Chinese, Vietnamese, Korean, Japanese, Filipinos. To them, we were just chinks responsible for the China flu. It is foolish and frankly embarrassing that you think just because you wear the red hat that you're going to be spared when your time comes. This country is never going to be pure enough or white enough, and they are never going to accept you the way that you accept them.
I honestly feel like this is nothing more than some kind of superficial performative friendliness, because in my opinion, Trump acts much more like an internet influencer than he does like an actual world leader. And honestly, sometimes the things he does really make you stop and wonder if that is how a leader ought to behave. He's more like, to put it bluntly, he gives off a bit of an attention-seeking vibe. It just feels that way. Plus, he's a bit too focused on his own thoughts and doesn't really consider what others think.
I find it so hilarious that Trump supporters are trying to tell us, oh my gosh, we regret our vote. We're sorry. It's too late. It's too late. What do you think? You think we were going to come with you guys in open arms and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. You see the light now. Let's be best friends. No. Y'all destroyed the country because y'all did not want to see a qualified woman be president. And now look where it's got you.
White men. Older divorced Chinese aunties by the thousands are marrying Trump-supporting white men. Yeah, there are thousands of Elaine Chaos running around all over the country. And the archetype is like this. The woman has had a really bad marriage to a Chinese man. It either ended back in China or when she immigrated here. Like she said, he was abusive, controlling. She maybe had 1 or 2 kids by him. He either died or she divorced him. And then she swears off Asian men always and forever. She's like, I'm never fucking with an Asian guy again. I'm like, okay, go off, queen. There's like 2 billion Asian men. You just only knew one. Crazy generalization to make. And instead of dating literally any other race of people or even a liberal white man, they go for Trump supporters. I don't know how, I don't know why, but my mom has like 5 friends who did this. My mom herself has alluded to doing this. Like if she were to leave my dad, she would marry a white guy. And on the surface, these white guys look a lot better because they are often divorced themselves. So they've had like one go around of manipulating and belittling and abusing a woman. So they've learned to hide it. And they probably also have Asian fetish, but since these women grew up in China, they didn't grow up with the knowledge of how bad that feels. So they don't really know what they're getting into. And they don't speak English very well. Obviously, the Trump supporting guys don't speak Chinese. I mean, they hate all immigrants. Why would they learn our language? And so they just wind up in this marriage where they can't really fight because they can't communicate. And they just have sex with each other, I guess, and everything is fine. She's usually getting like a green card or something out of it. And he gets a docile Asian wife who literally can't do anything against him because then she will have to leave the country. Win-win. Great. But like nobody's talking about how these men just hate women in general. And when you're stuck in a foreign country with no way to make your own money and no way to stay in that country without your white husband who literally hates your people and you don't know anybody except for all the other Chinese aunties on WeChat, like what are you going to do if he starts controlling you, hitting you, taking away your money? Where are you going to go? Why do you hate yourself so much that you would subject yourself to this at like age 40, 50 plus? Often to a man who looks that much older than you, even if he isn't. Because we know how they age. We know how they age. We know how we age. It's different. And it's like, I feel like I have some sort of responsibility to these women just because they share my language and my ethnicity. But they're not stupid. They know what they're getting into. They know what they've been saying about Asian men this entire time. And that doesn't fly with me. They don't even listen to their children when they go and do these things. I don't know. Go ahead. These aunties are not my problem.
Every day on earth, I truly discover like horrifying things. Like, for example, about 1.5 to 2 months ago, I discovered that apparently conservative women voted for Trump because they wanted to vote against the rights of other women. I was very flabbergasted for like a week. Like, and then I've been seeing a flurry of videos saying that bisexual women or certain bisexual women are male-centered and they only see women as like objects instead of like romantic partners. And that doesn't sit right with me. Like, I'm so vindicated right now of like not participating in dating. I'm so vindicated. And then today I was like, someone posted some like travel video, and then lots of people commented on it. And then I saw one of the comments. It was a woman who brand labels herself in her account like she's a stay-at-home mom. That's something you put on your bio. That's so your social media profile. And then I went to her page and everything was about pregnancy. Oh my goodness. I was like, that's the only life that you have got to live? Like pregnancy is the only thing that you're proud of? Like, as an ambitious masculine lesbian, my brain cells are currently melting away. Like, I'm gonna keep these videos running. I don't care if people were offended by me saying that some women are losers in life. I do not care. This goes to show that some women are truly losers in life. Like, also, I'm gonna continue my like roasting men content. I'm gonna keep that rolling. Like,
Tucker is saying that he is tormented by his past support for Trump, and he apologized for misleading people on Trump. Let's play the clip. Play the clip, Taylor.
Because I mean, you and I and everyone else who supported him, you wrote speeches for him, I campaigned for him. I mean, we're implicated in this for sure. It's not enough to say, well, I changed my mind, or like, oh, this is bad, I'm out. It's like in very small ways, but in real ways, you and me and millions of people like us are the reason this is happening right now. Yes. So I do think it's like a moment to wrestle with our own consciences. We'll be tormented by it for a long time. I will be. And I want to say I'm sorry for misleading people. It was not intentional. That's all. But anyway, the question does present itself immediately like, what is this? Was this always the plan? You don't want to be a conspiracy nut, but like clearly there were signs of low character. We knew that.
What are our thoughts?
What do you think?
I have a few thoughts. I don't have a problem with him doing that. If that's how he feels, like truth is truth, right? Like if that's your honest feeling, say it. I see a lot of people questioning whether it's sincere or not. I don't think that matters. The reason I don't think that matters is because if I'm a Democratic operative, all I need is that clip. I got what I want for the midterms, and I got what I want for the election in 2028. Because he didn't say he's not MAGA. He said he's just not with Trump.
He's saying Trump isn't doing the MAGA shit.
Exactly. So and if you know, Tucker is one of the people who definitely championed J.D. Vance, right? He definitely wanted Trump to put J.D. Vance as his BP. Me personally, I don't want anybody that was anywhere close to this administration, in office in the future. So what happens in the midterms? What happens in 2028? Is Tucker going to actually
that same
look?
energy.
Yeah,
Like,
is he going to actually look for people who have real policies that want to benefit all Americans and actually put money in all Americans' pockets? Is he really want somebody that's actually pro-democracy?
It's an interesting question.
Or does he want somebody that went along with this? Because come 2028, I'm just putting this clip up. If he endorses any of the opposition and saying, "You really gonna listen to this guy?"
If he endorses the opposition,
if he endorses a J.D. Vance or
that's not. Oh, you're saying
Rubio.
You're saying the opposition to the Democrats.
If I'm a Democrat and he's endorsing any of the opposition, I'm saying you're going to listen to him when he got it so wrong.
Because again, think about it. You make a great point, which is he's saying this administration is not doing anything that he thought they were going to do, that he campaigned for them to do, that he endorsed, that he raised money, he gave speeches, like he was on that ass constantly supporting it. Now they're not doing it. So that goes for the whole administration.
The whole administration.
So if he then goes and endorses these other people that were complicit in all the fuck shit that's happening, then where does he actually lie?
Absolutely.
This is not in defense of the Asian women who voted for Trump. It's not. So those bitches can get it too, okay? Those bitches can also go to hell. The thing that y'all need to realize though is right now, if someone's politic just ends at the voting booths and just clicking the name that they feel is more moral compared than the other, that doesn't mean that they have done the anti-racism work, okay? There are people out there who think that you don't need to do the anti-racism work. You can just go straight to socialism or communism. Then there are people who are anarchists, but they have never done the anti-racism work. Just like there are people who are Democrats who refuse to do the anti-racism work. And those are the Asian men that y'all are arguing with. As for the Asian women on the far right, they're a lost cause, okay? They can get cussed the fuck out too.
Recently, I found out that Vietnamese Americans are the only Asian group in America that lean Republican.
This is unfortunately true, and an analogy that I like to make is that Vietnamese Americans are kind of like the Asian version of Cuban Americans. Here's what I mean. So a lot of Vietnamese Americans come from families that were ostracized for one reason or another by the communist Vietnamese government. And so they come to the United States and they want nothing to do with communism, and they overcorrect like a lot. So they end up being, pretty right wing. And so that meme about Cuban Americans who are like, my grandfather's slaves were taken away by Castro, that's why I hate communism. A lot of Vietnamese Americans are like the Asian version of that meme, I fear.
Black folks boycotting Asian businesses isn't just about this one Cyrus and Rick Chow incident. Black people have been saying for years that they're tired of being treated like criminals when shopping at Asian businesses, even though FBI reports show that over 80% of anti-Asian crime is done by whites, not blacks. Black folks are tired of being negatively talked about in Asian languages, which I have witnessed as I speak Vietnamese. Black folks are tired of pouring black dollars into Asian businesses without Asian dollars being reciprocated back into black businesses. Black folks are tired of Asian businesses not hiring local black folks or pouring any resources back into the local black communities those Asian shops are in. Choosing to support Black-owned businesses over Asian-owned ones isn't discrimination. It's a deliberate choice to invest in their own community. Discrimination would be actively denying people rights, services, or respect based on their race. They're not denying Asian people our rights to do business. They're just exercising their right to choose to do business where they feel respected and safe. The Asian businesses that have made an effort to contribute back to the social fabric of the Black communities they're in and form real relationships with the people in those Black communities will probably not suffer as much as the ones who have not made Black folks feel safe or respected. I mean, ultimately, I would love for folks to discern where they put their dollars based on how they're treated instead of race. But I understand that many Black folks are hurting from the current anti-Black rhetoric coming from some Asian folks online post the Cyrus and Rick Chow verdict. Those racist Asian folks do not represent all of us.
Boycotting's not enough. Boycotting the Asian community is just not enough for me. Honestly, I feel like we need to understand what we're competing against. All right. And in order for us to like really crush our competition and let them know like we really don't need them for real, because we don't. And what that video told me was that their business models, they came here and they made great business models that work in our own communities. And we haven't figured out how to do that. So I'm going to take my accounting expertise and bring it to you. So first of all, we need to understand what we're competing against. All right. Now, one person goes over to Asia, they come here, or that one person comes from Asia, they come over here, they work, save money, buy a building, open up a nail salon. They call 5 of their family members and say, hey, nail salon is up and running. You guys come over here and we're going to start working. Now, this is the one thing we're missing and we don't understand about our competitor. They're not going to pay them the same thing that we would expect here in America. Why? Because their expectations are different. They're not coming here thinking they're going to make $17 an hour. They're actually okay with making 10. They're not rich. So their largest expense is now cut in half. Not only that, but their business model makes sense for our own Black communities, right? And I'll say for the specific communities that one man was talking about, right? He's talking about low-income communities. Let's keep it a band. And the reason it works for us is because their price point is low. Why is their price point low? Because they do high volume. High volume meaning there's 5 different people, maybe 6, 7 different employees in there. They can afford to have 6, 7, 8 employees there because they're only paying them $10 an hour. They do not have to pay them the standard rate of like 17.
It's not about whether or not they can pay them cheaper or anything like that. It's really about the fact that the only reason why they do this, and it's not that they're smarter than you, it's not that they're wiser than you or anything like that. Their options are limited because they don't have as much opportunity for you. These are not things that their children is looking to take over. They can't speak the language as well. They're not as educated. A lot of times people that come over into this country, if they're not going into a huge opportunity, they go on to Wall Street or something like that, or they're coming to train inside of our universities and they spent a lifetime saving up so that they could send their children to our universities who pay an extreme amount of tuition, and then ultimately they get a good job. Those kids go into a different type of lifestyle and job. They don't come back and take over the family business. They're not trying to work for that and nothing like that. The business ultimately dies with the parents.
I love when the Black community says, let's boycott Asian businesses. Please do. We'll get rid of the Chinese takeout, the dry cleaners, the laundromat.
It is so damn ironic of you to bring up Chinese restaurants and dry cleaners and laundromats because we didn't choose those jobs. We were actually forced into them due to the anti-Asian laws created by white Americans and white European immigrants. And the only reason why those businesses survived was largely because of the support of Black people. But a lot of you bootlickers don't know your history. And for that, I'm gonna have to take you to school. Domain expansion. Infinite TED Talk. What's up, everyone? My name is Rainier, and this is the true history of boycotting Asian businesses. You see, before Chinese restaurants and gas stations and beauty supply stores, the first Chinese migrants were actually in America in the 1800s during the California Gold Rush, and then to build the Transcontinental Railroad across the West Coast. But when the gold ran out and the final train tracks were laid, the American economy fell into a depression, and poor white Americans and European immigrants started to feel threatened by Chinese labor. And so what did they do? They joined anti-coolie clubs, and they advocated for anti-coolie laws that would limit the opportunities of Chinese laborers and tax anybody who hired Chinese workers. The racism was so bad that Chinese people were hunted down in their neighborhoods, beaten up by mobs of white men, or just straight up lynched in the streets. This violence is a big reason why Chinatowns were created in the first place. They are ghettos. They are safe spaces where Chinese people could set up shop and live together. But because of these anti-coolie laws, the only businesses that they could set up and get financing for were restaurants, grocery stores, and laundromats. Quick side note, so you should definitely watch the Warrior series because it's based on the writings of Bruce Lee, and it's set in the 1870s during all this anti-Asian racism. But even though Black people were fighting their own freedoms at the time, they still took the initiative to speak up for Asians. And in 1869, the great Frederick Douglass gave the Composite Nation speech, where he said, "Let the Chinaman come. He will help to augment the national wealth. He will help to develop our boundless resources. He will help to pay off our national debt. He will help to lighten the burden of our national taxation. He will give us the benefit of his skill as a manufacturer and as a tiller of the soil in which he is unsurpassed." Then in 1871 in Los Angeles, a mob of 500 white men robbed Chinese businesses and killed 19 Chinese immigrants. Hatred was so commonplace that companies would release advertisements to sell their laundry products using anti-Chinese racism. And then decades later, when the Hoover Company needed to sell washing machines, they published this ad over here depicting Chinese laundromat workers being displaced by automation. Now, if you watched Sinners, you probably remember the two Asian characters over here who ran a grocery store. And a lot of people were kind of confused why they were included, but that's because many Asians who left the West Coast due to a lack of work and racism, they fled to the South to work on sugar and cotton plantations. Many of those same Asians set up grocery stores in those Black neighborhoods, which means Black people were speaking up for Asians on the West Coast and putting dollars into our businesses in the American South. Fast forward to the 1980s when Vincent Chin was bludgeoned to death with a baseball bat by two white men who thought that Vincent was Japanese. Ronald Ebens and Michael Nitz recently lost their job at the Chrysler factory, and they blamed the Japanese car market for destroying the American automotive industry, and so they killed Vincent Chin. And when the Asian community needed to seek justice, who showed up for us? Jesse Jackson. I could honestly keep going, but I'm going to end on this note. If you know the Disney movie, The Jungle Book, then you know the author of the original book, Rudyard Kipling. But what you might not know is that Rudyard also infamously created the poem, The White Man's Burden, which symbolizes the pain and the struggle of being a white man who is responsible for carrying African, Asian, Latino, and indigenous people out of the jungles of barbarism into the promised land of civilization. But for a lot of you bootlickers, you seem to think that just because you're in another basket that you're better than Black folks, even though we've worked on the same plantations and we've been lynched by the same angry mobs. You're trying so hard to get invited to the picnic, even though history has proven that we'll never truly be accepted by them. And in fact, history shows us the opposite. History has shown us that even though Black people have no reason to invite us to the cookout, for well over a century, they have still had the heart to save us a plate. So to all you ungrateful Asian bootlickers out there crying about Black people boycotting Asian businesses, just know that this protest doesn't come from nowhere. It came from over 100 years of showing love to Asian people and not receiving that same love and support in return. And goddamn, I think it's time that we need to return the favor.
So I posted a video about boycotting Asian businesses. What does it do? And what is like the end game? A lot of Black people want to go support Black businesses. I think that's great, honestly. There are many groups of people who've immigrated to the States, did not have many opportunities, so they've band together and created their own opportunities and now are doing pretty well for themselves. A lot of people have suggested if Asian people want this to stop, then they should start supporting Black businesses. I just want to put this out there. I personally don't shop somewhere because I'm supporting a certain ethnicity. I'm Korean, and yes, I'm going to a Korean grocery store to buy Korean items. But I'm not necessarily shopping there because they are a Korean-owned business. They just sell the things that I need. And everything else, I shop at Costco. I typically look at 3 things when I shop. Is the quality good? Is it cheap? And is it convenient for me? And personally for me, I do shop at some Black businesses. I've eaten at Black-owned restaurants, and I consume Black entertainment like sports, music, movies. And to educate myself, because I love Black people and I love all people, I've gone to African American museums and learned some of the history, and I'm very appreciative of the civil rights movements that paved the way to allow Asian people to even come to the United States. But that's me personally. I don't think the average, first generation Asian immigrant is thinking about any of that. When they buy products, I think they are just buying things that they need. And just like me and most people, they want good quality, a good price, and convenience. I tried looking up Black businesses, and honestly, a lot of them are kind of niche. There's Black beauty products and fashion that I don't personally consume. But I'm not going to just buy something just so I can support a Black business. I'd rather just donate. So I don't necessarily think this is the answer to create racial harmony between Asian and Black people.
He's wrong. And I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm standing on that.
A Chinese influencer says he is not against Black people boycotting Asian-owned businesses to support more Black-owned businesses.
The Cyrus murder was uncalled for. And I get it. Y'all upset. Y'all want to do a boycott. Y'all want to ban Asian businesses. I'm not against it. If that's how y'all feel, that's how y'all feel. Shouldn't nobody tell y'all what to do with y'all money.
And then he elaborates on accountability from the Asian community.
I know y'all looking for accountability from the Asian community regarding Rick Chow and the murder that he committed. So on behalf of the Asian community, I take accountability for this man's actions. He was absolutely wrong for chasing Cyrus once Cyrus left the store. They wasn't even sure if the kid did anything wrong, which it turned out he didn't do anything wrong. So they chased him for nothing. But even if he did steal a bottle of water, 2 bottles of water, or 10 bottles of water, once he leaves the store, you don't chase. You're not only putting other people's lives at risk, you're putting you and your son's lives at risk. All for what? A bottle of water?
Asian folks, do you know why Black folks are cutting you off? Here's a brief history lesson. Asian folks were discriminated against just like Black folks. Y'all were kinfolk for a bit. And then you were restricted to being able to open up different shops that were considered undesirable, like laundromats. Now, Black folks could have opened those things up, but they knew that that was your limit. Then somewhere along the line, you became the favored minority. Because after the wars, we had plenty of half-Asian babies, and you looked close enough. And when you socially rose up by the graces of those that bestowed it upon you, you just left Black folks alone. But what was the catalyst here? It was the fact that it was an Asian dude that's already apparently killed 2 other people. Got off with barely a tch on the wrist. And y'all ain't doing jack. Black folks have stood with you since the beginning of time, and they're about to show you how much they've impacted your life. It's not that you couldn't be replaced. It's that they were too polite to. And y'all just kept silent. Not doing a damn thing, even defending the dude. Really. So at this point, you get what you're going to get. Black-owned businesses are going to thrive. And you've seen so many Black folks telling you, we could have replaced you a long time ago. Now you're about to see it. You're about to get humbled. Just like racist white people, they're about to get humbled. They're about to get humbled. Whether you believe it or not, I love all of you. And as always, stay amazing. Or be amazing. Your choice. Or it could be one of those people that's like, they're leaving me. Me too.
Alright, real quick, to the Asian businesses that are getting upset because y'all decided to challenge black people to boycott y'all, did you really think that was gonna work out? No. I really think about it. We boycotted one of our very own. Y'all remember Daniel Caesar, right? No? Exactly. That man said, I do not want black people listening to my music. Black people was like, bet. One thing you do not want to challenge a black person to do is be petty. Because we are some of the pettiest people, if not the pettiest people on the face of the earth. And what's even crazy, y'all set up Chinatown and all that other stuff near black neighborhoods because nobody else wanted to have y'all around. You know who accepted y'all with open arms? Black folks. You know the main ones going to your liquor stores, corner stores, restaurants, laundromats, hair stores, etc. Black people. But you don't want our business there? It's all good. We'll take our black business somewhere else. It's all good. Y'all got to unify and make Chinatown here and there. But now that black people have a little bit more power, a little bit more rights, how about we start Black Wall Street back up? Let's start Black Wall Street back up.
Why are black people boycotting Asian businesses? Could it have something to do with the verdict for Rick Chow when he unalived 14-year-old Cyrus Belton? Let's get into it in today's Black People Have No Allies episode of
Africans, aliens, and animals with singer, rapper, Sonny Grace. Follow for knowledge, follow for music.
Do you know why Asian businesses are in black neighborhoods in America in the first place? Do you know why Asian businesses are in Africa in the first place? White supremacy and colonialism forced these businesses in these black spaces with no input whatsoever from black people. And when black people rebelled against it, we're always met with retaliation like we're feeling right now. During colonialism, when the British discovered Africa and tried to civilize Africa, one of the tools that they would use is create a hierarchy. White people at the top, black people at the bottom. While they decided, let's bring some South Asian people, particularly Indians, and put them in the middle. And they did that, to build railways and other business and stuff. So these foreigners that were forced on indigenous African land, they were placed a hierarchy above Africans, something which a lot of them internalized as they were building these colonial businesses. In America, when Asians came over to America to start their immigrants built this country era, it was kind of the same thing. White people placed themselves at the top, black people at the bottom. But when these immigrants came in, they were put in the middle. They weren't allowed, they couldn't build their businesses in white neighborhoods or participate in white society, but they would get loans that were denied to black people as long as they would go to start these businesses in black neighborhoods. So not only were they placed higher on the racial hierarchy, they were also given opportunities to build generational wealth, which was not afforded for black people. In fact, before they came over, black businesses, black towns, black hair salons, black schools, they had all been burned down, destroyed in many different ways. And when black people tried to rebuild, still destroyed, but those opportunities were given to other people. So when they're coming to these neighborhoods, it is not a choice for black people. In fact, whenever black people try to overcome these circumstances, they get retaliation from both these immigrants and white people. It's the same thing in Africa. Every single time an African person has tried to send away any foreigners, both, white or otherwise, we are called the real racists. We get retaliated against, even though these people build.
Well, guys, I guess congratulations are in order. We have done it again. This is week 3 in the Black Wealth Transfer. What was initially the Asian business ban or boycott, it went from a boycott to a ban real quick, and now, as you can see, the stores are empty. This is on a Monday. This is around 5 o'clock after work time. Normally this is a good time to find this store very busy. Even during the weekday, it doesn't matter. And the fact that it's this empty is very telling. They dared us, and we came, we saw, and we are conquering. I'm so proud of my community. I'm proud of everybody who is not shopping and who is intentionally looking for black-owned businesses for your needs. And I just want to say thank you to everybody, because this little boy's life will not be in vain. Ashe.
And what do you guys think about the situation with the boycotting from the black people to the Asian community? Yes, it is not one case. It is just not one case of this boy. How this man decided to follow him, chase him, and then kill him. And then how the justice system decided not to punish this man. It's just not only about that, it's about different things that have been happening in the Asian community where they are not being united with the black community. And yes, and this is the thing, I think they forgot history, or our history is being so whitewashed that they cannot even recognize that all the rights that they have is because black people fight for those rights. Because before they didn't have no rights. Any immigrant in this country that it wasn't white, it didn't have no rights. And even the white immigrants, okay, they was going against the people from Scotland, they was going against the Italians, they was going against, and they was between the white people, the white tea people that was in this country, they was going against the other groups of people that was here. And this is all recorded, this is part of history. So I just don't understand how they cannot unite to the community that give them the rights. But when they passed the civil rights movement, they passed the rights for all the communities. So it made me feel like confused about these things. And it's just not only this incident where this black boy got killed. It's just many incidents that every time when the black people go shop in the Asian community, it feels like it feels weird. It feels like they are accusing us to rob something, but we just don't do anything. It is something that they have to change. I hope this boycott can help in the rights of the people, okay, and also to recognize between us, all the races, everybody, that we need each other. Okay, it's a time to wake up. It's a time to wake up and understand that we are all human beings. We are all humans. One incident also that got me really surprised, it was this lady, she went and stole a pack of diapers. So the police came and shot the 1-year-old baby for a pack of diapers. It's just like, what is the value of the human life? How are we treating each other? How we are not understanding how valuable is the human life? We are priceless. We cannot put a price to our life. We are people that doesn't have no price. So when someone else decide to kill somebody because they stole a pack of diaper, what are we doing? What are we doing as a humanity, as a society? Are we just approving this? Are we okay with somebody else getting killed because they got out the store and they supposedly stole a bottle of water and they didn't have a bottle of water? So the life of a person, it is worth a bottle of water? A bottle of water is just $1, $2, $3. The more refined bottle of water is $5. Maybe in Las Vegas Boulevard is $10. But the $10 is worth the human life? The pack of diapers, they only cost like $20 or $18 or $15 are not related to the price. If you know the real price of a pack of diapers. I have such a long time that I don't put no diapers to anybody, and I don't buy no diapers, so I don't have no idea of the prices. So comment below and let me know how much is the cost for a pack of diapers, because I don't have any babies. I have babies long time ago, so I just don't know exactly what is the price of a pack of diapers. And I did been going to baby showers, but I just decided to give away clothes, no diapers. So so just let me know. Oh, I've been giving gift cards, no diapers. Just let me know in the comments below, okay, how much is the cost for a pack of diapers, if you know, of course, and just put the price of the human life with a pack of diapers. This is the point that we are as of right now as a society. And this had to stop. This had to stop. We had to learn how to appreciate and defend human life. It is so precious. Imagine that mom that now doesn't have her baby, 1-year-old baby. And I was remembering also about Biden, our President Biden, how he raised the money, okay, that he was giving to parents, and how he decided to do the $3,200 credit for the kids, and gives, I think it was $600. I don't remember exactly the exact amount. I think it was $300 or $600. I cannot remember exactly. I think it was $300 a month. Yeah, it was $300 a month for each child. And we only could do that for like 6 months. It should have been, we should help parents. Conservatives, they want to eliminate abortion. Conservatives want the parents to have more kids. Conservatives want to white tea kids. We know that. They want the white tea people to have more kids. We know that. They want to have more kids. Actually, the population of the United States is going down. Why? We are not making sure that we help these parents to support their kids. And in those 6 months that Joe Biden give that break, that they give it to the parents every month, child poverty, we beat child poverty like by 80%. We have the way to do it. We can do this. We can send $50 billion, to Iran. How can we not use $200 billion in our people? This is not what this election was all about, in electing the orange clown. It wasn't not about American first. Why are we not putting our people first? Why the people that need it is not receiving those $300 a month per child? I just don't understand why this is not happening, because we are perfectly okay to send $4 billion to Israel. And now we are perfectly okay, yes, in the comments, you guys, because I have people that is from MAGA that watches my channel. And they're going to come back to me and tell me, Jenny, those $250, that's $250 billion that we're giving to Iran, is the money that we are going to return to them because we took the money from them and then now we're going to return it. It's a lie. We only took, what's the word? It's a specific word. We only confiscated around a little bit less the $70 billion to the country of Iran. The money that we are giving to Iran, the rest of that money, it means that we are giving $170 billion to Iran. It's coming from the Americans' pocket. It's coming from tax dollars. We have babies going hungry, mothers going to the stores and stealing diapers. And how come we as a country, we can support to send $170 billion to another country and we cannot give $300 per child a month to the month they are to the months they are here in this country. It made me upset. It made me mad to know that somebody lost their baby for a pack of diaper. This is the point that we are. This is unnecessary. We have enough money to bless these moms, to bless these parents with the money that they need to cover the necessities of their kids. So doing this, letting kids to die on the streets because we decided that we just can send $4 billion to the country that had the eye and the star in their flag, and we can perfectly send $170 billion to Iran that we didn't even need to mess with them. We have an agreement that was perfectly working for $1 billion. Somehow now we, the American people, had to get out our pocket $170 billion to pay to another country. What is the value of a human life? And I just wanted to say thank you guys for subscribing to my channel. Sorry, I just went in a rant. I'm sensitive for the situation that is happening in Venezuela, and now to cover this about the Asian, it just made me so sensitive to see how life that is so valuable, that is so precious, to be wasting like that. And it doesn't matter what is the race. It doesn't matter if you are white, Asian, if you are black. It doesn't matter. Life is so precious. The cost of a life is priceless, and we are just killing people in our streets for a bottle of water and a pack of diapers. This is the moment that we are, and we are perfectly okay. We are morally bankrupt as a nation as it is right now, because we are perfectly okay sending $170 billion to Iran, $4 billion to the country with the eye, and letting people on the street to be killed for a pack of diapers. Please don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe to my channel. I wanted to say thank you to the people that sent me money for coffee. You guys, is highly appreciated. All this week, all the money that you guys sent me for coffee, I'm gonna send that money to my family in Venezuela that they need it. So here is the information for the Cash App. Here is the information for the Venmo. I will appreciate all your donations, guys. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.